This is Jaden's Videos, and today I am doing an unboxing and review on the Spirit Halloween 2023 Dagger Mike Animatronic. I just got this guy at my local store, and I know he's not everyone's favorite for the season. I actually personally like him. But of course, the main reason I wanted to get this guy is I am doing a circus-themed haunt this year, and the vibe of the circus-themed haunt I'm doing is old-school, vintage circus vibe. And so a lot of the clowns, I want to have the vintage vibe, and this guy is a vintage clown, so he fits perfectly. And not only that, I think he's a pretty solid jump scare. I'm actually a fan of this guy. I know a lot of people don't like him. I don't really see an issue. He's not my favorite of the season, but he definitely is probably one of the most useful for my haunt purposes this season, so I knew I had to get him. Here is his box. It's actually pretty small, which is good. Small boxes are always good for storage purposes. Of course, head tilts upwards as his body quickly pops while he laughs maniacally. Stands 3'11" inches tall, and he extends to 4'9". He's actually pretty large, and he jumps up pretty high. I think he's an effective jump scare, which is one of the reasons that I like him. He's got a cool look, and he's got a very effective jump scare. Of course, you've got his backstory in the back there, and he is $169.99. Of course, use a coupon, but I think for what he is, that's not that bad of a price, in my opinion. I really think he's one of the more fairly priced animatronics of the season. Could be a little bit cheaper, but considering his height and everything, I don't think that's bad. With his cool pop-up neck. So there's one of his hands was out of the box there, but there it is. Well, it was in the box, it was out of the thing. Actually very cool looking. Those daggers are really cool. They're very shiny. That's actually really nice. I didn't think they looked that good. And his hands aren't just regular gloves. They have fingers at the end. You can see his fingers coming out. So it's not just one molded color. It's not just one color molded on there. This is a, I would assume, leg pull. It could be arm, could be leg. I'm pretty sure this guy's made by Crazy Create, so I'm a little bit nervous about the setup, but I think they're doing better now. Like, I don't think they have zip ties or anything anymore, so it shouldn't be terrible. I hope not. But here we have all this stuff in here. There's his dunce cap, which is, of course, gives him that vintage clown type of look, which I love. I love the color scheme and everything on this guy. I think he's pretty awesome. There's his instructions, of course. Body, like, frame thing to give him some more meat to him, to make him look more real. Here you have another hand with the daggers. It's the same thing as the other one. There's his onesie, which is what most people don't like about him, is because the pants look kind of weird. But the reason why is because they need to look like that in order for him to have that jumping animation, so I don't mind it. I don't think it's a big deal. Pretty thin quality material there, but again, it needs to stretch, so it's very stretchy because it needs to stretch in order for him to jump up like he does. But that's pretty cool looking. I like the colors, like I mentioned. There's his ruffle collar there that goes around his neck. Right here you have his shoes, which are very good quality plastic. They're not just the cheap, thin clown shoes. These are very good hard plastic quality, and they do have things for his feet to go in so he doesn't move around that much, so the shoes don't move around that much. This is another, I'm assuming arm foam, but it could be leg. I'm assuming arm though because of his animation. It's probably not leg, but I could be wrong. This is his head. Very solid plastic, not latex, so it's not going to rot or anything. I really like the look of it. I really, really like that. I like the detail on there. I love his face. I love the makeup. Again, I just really like the look of this guy. I think he's very overhated. He's got this spring here, which is gonna, because his head pops up, so that's attached to there. Now let's open this box just to take a look at the control box that's gonna be in here, because I'm pretty sure this is what that's gonna be, is the control box. I don't know what else it would be. So let's just open it up. Yeah, it's the control box, and oh no. Oh no. Crazy Create. Come on. I thought we were past this. Zip ties and screws. Jeez, whatever. We're gonna deal with it. It'll be fine. But there is his control box. This is the waist, I'm pretty sure, with the legs. Here is the base, which is pretty tiny, but he is a pretty tiny guy. It's pretty wide, but it's tiny. And then this is his mechanism and all of that stuff. Very, very weird mechanism here. Very weird. So these are going to be his arms, and this is probably going to be attached. Yeah, it looks like you're going to have to snap those together. Very strange mechanism. Got the spring and everything. You know, I really actually like this little guy quite a bit. I think he's a pretty awesome animatronic, especially for the price. Like I've already mentioned, I don't think he deserves the hate that he gets. I don't really understand why he gets it. I think he's really cool looking, and I think he's got a great jump scare. Now that I actually have him in my home and I see him fully, he's very large and his jump scare is very, very fast. It is extremely effective. And it does it when you least expect it, because he doesn't finish laughing when it does it. He does it a little bit in the middle of another laugh. He laughs, and then he laughs again, and he does it in the middle of that laugh. So it gets you unexpectedly. I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard in a haunt, and especially in my haunt this year, I'm very excited to use this guy, because it is the first vintage clown jump scare prop. Of course, he does have some flaws. I think his onesie is kind of weird looking, as people have mentioned. It's kind of odd how it looks by the legs, but I think there's not really another way they could have done it for it to work and for him to be able to stretch out like that. He's not as small as little Skelly Bones, so obviously he's going to have more leeway for him to do that big jump, because it is a very big jump. He extends over a foot high when he jumps up, which I think is pretty awesome. So though that is kind of weird looking, I understand it. I think he could have used some blood for sure, but that goes with a lot of modern spirit props. They don't do as much blood as they should have. I think some blood on him would make sense because he's got daggers, especially some blood on the daggers, but that can always be added, and I probably will wind up adding it. But those daggers actually look really cool, a lot cooler than I thought they'd look. I thought they'd just be a cheap plastic. They are plastic, but they're very shiny and they look realistic, and I really like that. Again, I really like the detail on his face. I think it's really well done. I just love the look of that face, and I love the makeup and the expression. I absolutely love his color scheme. The red and like muted type of antique white I think works very well for the vintage look. I think it looks pretty awesome. His dunce cap looks great. Overall, the look of this guy is what sold him on me, and then the jump scare is an added plus because I think it's going to scare a lot of people, especially how quick it is. Like, unless you see it in person, you can't really get the full extent of how fast it is. I think it's definitely faster than Little Skelly Bones, and since he's bigger, it definitely has a more great effect on the scare because he's going to get higher up, and I think it works very well. Overall, $170 for this guy I don't think is bad at all. I'm pretty sure that was the price tag of Little Skelly, and this guy is much bigger, so I definitely think it's a pretty fair price. If you want to get him, I recommend it. If you're looking for a jump scare clown, I think this is a good way to go. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and stay tuned because the Halloween season is now beginning, so there's going to be so many more videos coming your way. And yes, Oddville Circus of the Strange build videos will be starting very soon, hopefully sometime this month. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember that here lies Halloween.